There's a big difference between talking and reporting, especially right now with a fire hose worth of news coming your way. You know what helps? Having reporters in the field. I'm Brad Milkey from ABC News, and that's what we've got on ABC's daily podcast, Start Here. Every morning, Start Here takes you across the country and around the world for a quick, smart look at the stories that matter. It's fast, it's straightforward, and sometimes, gasp, news can even be fun. So let's meet up tomorrow morning. Listen to Start Here wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Jason Palmer, one of the hosts of The Intelligence, The Economist's daily current affairs podcast. The Economist's award-winning shows make sense of what matters, from our special series on China's president to our weekly podcasts on business, technology, and American politics. Our journalists provide fair, in-depth reporting on the events shaping the world. To get the annual plan for less than $2.50 per month, search for Economist Podcasts Plus to start listening today.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Monday, February 5th, 2024. Among the Alabama natives born on this date in 1934, Hammer and Hank Aaron. Today's National Weather Person's Day. It seems like I know somebody with a meteorology degree, but I might have to double back on that. Oh, down in Alabama, fairly regular Lee Morgan. I helped her with differential equations in college. No, I didn't. Today we have a peek ahead to the legislative session. A city taking a county to court, why you might pay more for crawfish, and a couple Grammy winners. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. Hang on to your seats, butts, and wallets. The annual Alabama State Legislative Session kicks off at high noon Tuesday. As usual, Governor Kay Ivey is expected to give her State of the State speech Tuesday evening. Look for the governor to spend some time laying out her plan for school choice. That and the absentee voting process are two of the issues expected to be front and center in the coming weeks, reports AL.com's Mike Kaysen. The school choice debate will feature education savings accounts, or ESAs. The idea there is that parents can take the money that would have been spent on their child at their school, have it deposited into their ESA, and spend it instead at a private school or on homeschooling. Now, there was legislation introduced last year around ESAs that didn't get any momentum at the Capitol. That probably won't be the case this time around, with the governor and Republican leadership behind it. Democrats will be in opposition, preferring to see more money spent in the public schools where those students would be without the ESA option. Now, in the absentee voting debate, look for Republicans to try to narrow the circumstances in which a third party might help a voter receive, fill out, or turn in an absentee ballot. Democrats will oppose it as right and left take their usual positions of concern regarding voter fraud versus voter suppression. Last week we had a mayor suspending a police chief for the third time. Now we have a mayor suing a sheriff. AL.com's Joseph D. Bryant reports that Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin said the city's suing over the right to use the county jail. The mayor has claimed before that the county was overcharging the city to house inmates. Now he's suing Sheriff Mark Petway, technically, although he's butting heads with the county commission and commission president Jimmy Stevens over the issue. The county has typically taken in the city's felony inmates. And beginning January 1st, for a while it took on misdemeanor inmates as well. But Woodfin said negotiations have stalled over the price the city should pay the county. Stevens said there are currently 850 inmates in the county jail, which has a capacity of 1,053. Stevens said, quote, Jefferson County put taxpayer dollars into our facility to make sure it was up to date and was able to service the citizens of Jefferson County. The city of Birmingham did not do that, end quote. Now here's a sad story. It's sad in general, but especially with Mardi Gras season underway along the Gulf Coast. AL.com's Dennis Pillion reports that crawdad harvests are way down this year. Now, I realize that some folks are already thrown by the vocabulary, so let's clarify. For the purposes of this show, if it's being cooked or it's on the plate, it's a crawfish. If they're in the mud or they're being dug or sifted out of the mud, they're crawdads. Afterward, we'll all go back to our fancy friends and discuss the price of crayfish. Now, whatever you want to call them, there are not as many of them coming out of South Louisiana this year. An extension agent with the LSU Ag Center said December's production was likely less than 5% of what might be considered normal. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's that low elsewhere or that the next couple of months won't bring those numbers back up. The agent, Mark Shirley, blames the record drought Louisiana had in the summer and fall. Now, during a drought, a crawdad will dig deeper to stay alive in moist dirt, like an earthworm does. But the record drought dried out the earth well beneath a lot of dried ponds. Now, what does that mean to us in Alabama? Well, it means we're looking at a lower supply of crawfish, meaning higher prices if you can find them. So when you go to order a plate of steamed crawfish and next to it on the menu it says market price, make sure you inquire before you order. A couple music acts represented the state at Sunday night's Grammy Awards, reports AL.com's Mary Colurso. Singer-songwriter Jason Isbell and his band, the 400 Unit, won the Grammy for Best Americana Album for Weather Vanes, and Isbell also won the Grammy for Best American Roots Song for writing Cast Iron Skillet. The Blind Boys of Alabama's Echoes of the South won Best Roots Gospel Album. Now, Lifetime, that makes 6 Grammys each for Isbell and the Blind Boys. Thank y'all so much for listening. We will be back tomorrow. Until then, y'all come on by and see what we're up to on the internet at al.com.